Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be going out to the 48N and trying out a product on it. This is a Lucas product. It's hydraulic oil booster and stop leak. There you can see the title. They make some claims on here. Well, let me tell you first why I want to use it. When I bought this 8N last summer, is almost a year ago now, I noticed that the hydraulics weren't exactly what I would expect, I suppose, when I bought it. And then after I started using it, they're definitely a little bit weaker than it seems like they should be. I think I remember reading that they're supposed to lift like 800 pounds. Of course, if you're going to take that weight further back and away from the 3-point arms, that weight limit goes down. It kind of struggled with the 500-pound box blade I had and a few other things. So I actually bought this a few months ago and I want to give it a try. Basically, they say booster and stop leak. You know, from the name of the product right there off the bat, my assumption is that I do think that there's some internal leaks in the hydraulic pump. And so hopefully this is going to stop those, or at least maybe help it a little bit. Like I said, I think it needs some actual work. Like I think the hydraulic system has problems that need to be repaired. But I'm just wanting to see how much, and maybe this isn't the most fair test, but I'm wanting to see how much this actually improves the hydraulic system. So they make some other claims here on the bottle, and I'll put pictures of it. It says the perfect preventative maintenance product for new equipment. So they say it's good for preventative maintenance. The perfect solution for worn hydraulics and transmissions and older equipment. So in the 48Ns, the fluid that's in the transmission and that runs in the hydraulic pump, it's the same fluid. So it says adds lubricity for less friction, therefore less wear, less heat, and less energy consumption. So there's a lot there. So for less friction, therefore less wear, that's kind of preventative stuff. Less heat, that's one of the big ones. I've noticed on this tractor last year when I was doing a lot of the box blade work I was doing, that the more the oil heated up, the less it liked to lift that blade. So when the oil was cooler, it was able to lift it pretty well, and as I went on throughout the day, the performance of the hydraulics got a little bit worse. So it extends the life of hydraulic fluid. I've completely flushed the hydraulics in the tractor when I got it. It says compatible with all oils, petroleum, or synthetic. Here's one other thing that they claim. Removes varnish from wet brakes and clutched hydrostats. Stops slip, chatter, and fading. I'm not 100% sure what they mean by fading, but I'm assuming that it's where the hydraulic 3-point hitch or, you know, whatever other hydraulics you're using slowly sink down. And so mine actually sink down pretty quick. That's why I know it needs to be replaced. If I've got a fairly heavy implement on it, it likes to fall down like within 3 to 5 seconds. So all this talking before we get into the video is all just to say that this hydraulic pump system, my hydraulic system on this 8N, probably just needs to be completely repaired. And I want to make sure that's clear, but I want to see if this product will help at all. So let's go out to the 8N. I'm going to fire it up. I'm going to raise the RPMs. I don't know if I'll go all the way to the top of the throttle, but you know, we'll run it. We'll run it at higher RPMs, and I've got my dump trailer hooked up to it. I think that's the heaviest thing I've hooked up to it that I currently have. But the dump trailer, it does kind of struggle to lift up the dump trailer. I'm going to show you some videos of the tractor trying to lift the dump trailer that I have up to its highest point, where I always do it when I'm moving the dump trailer around. You'll see the speed of how fast it raises. You'll also just be able to get a sense of how fast it drops. Things like that. So it's not going to be the most scientific test in the whole world. It's going to be actually largely subjective, but I am hoping that we can get some times after I run this product through it for a little bit, get it good and mixed into the oil, get it, you know, running through the hydraulic pump system a little. I'm not expecting it to fix my transmission, but I do have some expectations for it to at least give me some minor improvements. So sorry for all the talking, but I think that a whole lot of this was really needed to be said to kind of give you an idea of where we're at with it. And anyway, so let's go out to the tractor and dump it in. All right, I do think first things first is to just get the tractor fired up and then show you how it actually performs. All right, so let's go ahead and take the cap off. I'm gonna remove the top off the fluid, the Lucas fluid. Well, it's kind of red. That's interesting. Wasn't expecting that. And it says you can replace, treat 5 to 10% or use up to 20% if necessary. So I'm definitely going to put, I think it'll at least be 10% being 1 quart. All right, and let's go ahead and dump it all in there. That stuff's pretty thick. Cool. I'm not going to try and get every last drop out of it. Alright guys, so here's what I'm going to do. I have messed with it a little bit off camera. I don't feel like much has changed. I will, just for reference, do exactly what I did before. Lift it up 3 times, push in the clutch, and let it fall 3 times. So I don't know that it's ran through the system enough to make them any different. After I show you these, the pickup 3 times and drop 3 times, I'm gonna run around with this tractor with this fluid in it for the next, I don't know, 2, 3, 4, 5 months to make sure it's really mixed, and then we'll come back at a later time, especially because the oil is going to be a little bit hotter now too, so that's not going to help with our test here. That'd be a little discrepancy. So we'll start with a cool tractor, and after this fluid has had a chance to work through the system really well, and then I'll bring you back in this same video, and we'll check it out then and see what everything looks like. All right guys, so I've been running this fluid in the tractor for, I would guess, maybe a month and a half, and I was starting to think that I was seeing some significant improvements. Now I'm jumping the gun on this, but as I pick this trailer up over here to move it to kind of my filming spot, I noticed that I don't think it's much better. So I'm going to put the video clips of raising and lowering this dump trailer side by side here in the video. I haven't actually filmed anything yet. I'm about to film it, but I'll compare them side by side, and I'll show you guys, we'll be able to determine if there's really any difference. There's going to be factors involved in this that I can't control, like temperature of the oil and things like that. Because that does make a slight difference. But let's just say that, I'd be interested to see a side-by-side comparison of how it performed before and how it performed after. One way you'll know is that I have this yellow 3-point trailer hitch on the back of the tractor now. It's actually the same one. I actually just cut the old riser part off and reinforced it. I put on like a 20-inch long one where the other one was like 12 inches, so it's much longer. It needed to be. I added some gussets to it, so that's how you'll know the time difference. Basically is it's the same hitch, I just made a few changes to it. The black one in this video will be on the left and will be the old footage, and the yellow one will be the new footage. Alright guys, so I don't know the differences in the speeds and everything myself, but just based off of memory, I don't think that there was really any significant change. I suppose if there is, when I look at the video, we're talking more than a second, I guess I would say. If it's, a quarter of a second slower to fall after using the Lucas fluid, then there might be something to that. If it's more than a second, that's pretty significant, but I don't think it's anything like that. But it leaks down really fast still, so don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that the Lucas fluid, there's anything wrong with it. I'm not even calling it snake oil or anything like that. It just definitely isn't going to fix a worn out transmission, not transmission, but a worn out hydraulic 3-point system like on this tractor. This tractor needs the pump pulled out from the bottom of it, and the top lid pulled off, and all the seals and gaskets and everything replaced. Maybe even some bearings. I don't even know what they even look like per se. I haven't really looked into it, because it does work okay with my lighter implements. Even that 450-pound box blade, which is the heaviest implement I own, it actually does okay with it. It holds it up for long enough for me to shift gears and do what I need to do. It would be nice to have this problem fixed so I don't have to mess with it anymore. Like, I plan on fixing it in the future, but just know that the Lucas fluid maybe will prolong the life of it, maybe will help it. You know, I could see myself throwing some of this stuff in there to help try and prolong the next time I have to rebuild the belly pump on this thing, or something like that, you know, help keeping that top, the seals and everything, the top lid in good shape and everything. But it's just definitely no miracle worker. Not that I expected it to do that, not that I claimed it would do that, not that I'm disappointed that it doesn't do that. It might be really good stuff. It'd be interesting to see, you know, on another tractor what it actually does help improve. I'd be interested to know that kind of stuff. If you have used this stuff and you've noticed some improvements in your tractor or hydraulic system, whatever you've used it in, let us know in the comments below, and I'll definitely read your responses and see what you have to say about it. Thanks everyone for watching. If you haven't given this video a thumbs up already, go down and give it a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, click subscribe for me, please. We'll see you in the next one.